What's up, y'all? Toya here, and I am back with another video for y'all. Before you get into the video, make sure you guys either like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Alright, y'all, let's just go ahead and dive straight into this. There's really no way to ease into this. So, the DoorDash girl, Olivia Henderson is her name. She has been charged and arrested. So I kind of want to go ahead and go over some of these details that we have stumbled upon. And I'm going to go ahead and give my thoughts on some of these things. So if this is your first time hearing about this, I do have 2 other videos where I went over, what happened, the update. So if you guys want to go ahead and see that, you are welcome to. But long story short, this individual was dropping off a DoorDash order. She was allegedly essayed, and she took a video of said person that essayed her, and she posted it online. She ended up getting deactivated off of DoorDash, and there's been a lot of controversy behind it as far as, okay, well, this gentleman was exposed, he did it on purpose, this was an accident, what she should have did, what she shouldn't have done, it's been the topic of conversation for a bit. But let's go ahead and talk about what has happened since. We got some major updates. So majority of this, you can find it online. It is public record. So first, I'm going to go ahead and put on screen the arrest details and all of that information. So you can see here, defendant Henderson Olivia, birth date 2002, date of the incident, which was October 12th, 2025. And the date of arrest was November 10th, 2025. And that was the Oswego City Police Department. So we have the defense attorney, so she has a public defender, and she's going to appear in court on December 4th at 9 a.m. So yeah, this is getting real serious. So we have 2 different charges, and these are both considered felonies: unlawful surveillance for amusement or profit, and unlawful dissemination of a surveillance image to sale or published. So let's go ahead and kind of talk about what do these charges mean, because looking at these right off the bat, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of had an idea of what this meant. This is obviously in relation to her posting everything, right? Let's just go ahead and see exactly, what will fall under these charges and what are the consequences of these charges. So this first charge, dissemination of unlawful surveillance image in the first degree, and I'm going off of the code that is on the public record. So 250.60. So this charge has 3 different subdivisions. The prosecutor must prove beyond a reasonable doubt, first, with knowledge how these images were obtained, the person sells or publishes these unlawful surveillance images, or second, having created these unlawful surveillance images or acting as an accomplice in obtaining these unlawful surveillance images. The individual intentionally decimates such unlawful obtained images, or third, a person must commit dissemination of unlawful surveillance image in the first degree, and the individual has previously been convicted of unlawful surveillance. I'm so sick of saying unlawful surveillance. I'm sorry. In the first degree or in the second degree in the past 10 years. So I'm not a lawyer, but if I had to guess, this is probably going to fall under the first or the second or both, because obviously she knows how these images were obtained because, well, she's the one that took the pictures, or not the pictures, but the video. She took the videos and she published these videos. So she obviously knows about it, and then she's the one that created them. This is considered a Class E nonviolent felony. And in New York, it is punishable by up to 1 1/3. That is a very random number, but 1 1/3 to 4 years in prison. Prison sentence of 1 year or less. A split sentence up to 6 months in prison, rest remaining time on probation, or probation 3, 4, or 5 years in duration, or a conditional discharge. So it's depending on whatever conditions that have been set by the court. So potentially getting prison time just on this charge. So it may, it may vary. It might just get probation. It depends. But let's talk about the second charge. Now, the second charge, it says a person is guilty of unlawful surveillance in the second degree when for his or her own amusement, entertainment, or profit for own sexual arousal or sexual gratification, or for the purpose of degrading or abusing another person. He or she intentionally uses or installs or permits installation of an imaging device to secretly view, record, or broadcast a person dressing or undressing, or view the person's intimate or sexual parts in a place when such a person has reasonable expectation of privacy and without the person's knowledge or consent. Now, there's a lot of other points here. I'm just going to put it on screen if you guys do want to read. Some of this stuff I'm going to have to kind of blur out a little bit just for, YouTube guidelines. But, based off of that first point, that's it right there. That's literally it right there. Now, this charge is punishable by the following, and this is a Class E nonviolent felony as well. So she could get jail time of 1 to 4 years, probation, split sentence, and the conditional discharge. So pretty much the same thing as the first one. But the difference here is that this particular charge is subject to the Sex Offender Registration Act. So she could potentially have to register as a sex offender. So yeah, it's kind of ironic there, I would say. So there was actually another piece of information that was obtained via a Freedom of Information Act request. And this was actually the police report that they received on the night of the incident. And it's very interesting. I'm going to go ahead and put it up on screen. I'm not going to read everything. Long story short, she pretty much advised what happened. She went to do the delivery. It was for a Wendy's order. So she dropped it off. She noticed a man with the front door open. He was on his couch, no pants on. She advised that she left the food on the porch and left. The gentleman, who was the one that was on the couch, had stated that they had went out to the bar, assuming he got drunk. And that's when he woke up and realized that his front door was open. He saw the picture that Olivia had left of the food being delivered. So that was the, confirmation that you get on your app when your food has been delivered. Yeah, he stated that this was not normal for him and he was sorry that it happened. And the officer advised that at the time there were no charges. However, if it becomes a reoccurring issue, that he could potentially get charged. Now, it's kind of funny if this is actually true. For some reason, people started to come up with this narrative stating that the gentleman had done this before. And I have no idea where that came from. So if this is indeed true, that there was no previous time. This was just a random dude that just happened to get drunk, left his door open by accident, and this young lady decided that it would be a good idea to go and record him to show, hey, look at what this dude is doing, and then post it online. Now, the other thing is, if you noticed, she never once stated that she recorded this man. So unless that was omitted in this report, we don't know. Like I said, assuming that this is true, she did not disclose that she recorded this man. Probably because she knew that she wasn't supposed to. But then again, why did you go to the internet? But let's go ahead and take a step back, okay? With all of this information that we have now, okay, we got the charges, we got the police report, if this is factual. What did we learn from this? Okay, what did we learn as a whole? So as I stated in both of my videos when I discussed this, okay, the point of the matter is the way she went about this was completely wrong. Whether or not this gentleman did this intentionally or not, now we're getting into the realm of what you can prove in court. It is clear as day that she had the intent to record this man and post it online. We don't know if his intent was to leave the door wide open and expose anybody that came up to the door. Based off of his statement, of course, this is just a statement, we don't know if it's the truth. We don't know. But based off of his statement, he's saying he went to the bar, left the door open. So we can assume, like I said, that he got drunk, left the door open. The wind could have blew it open. Maybe he left it crack and he didn't realize it wasn't closed and the wind blew. It's a lot of unknowns. But the point of the matter is what can be proven in court. And at this point, her actions and her actions alone are the only thing that we can 100% prove in court that she had the intent to record and post this man online. That's technically the only thing that we can prove here. And that's exactly what happened. She has these charges for unlawful surveillance, posting it online for profit, posting it to degrade this person and show, look at what this person did to me. I guarantee you, if she never recorded this, posted it online, we would be having a completely different conversation. I guarantee you. She could have went to the internet and said, hey, this happened to me. This was like a domino effect pretty much, because the point when she posted it, everything just spiraled out of control. 100%. Because once she posted it, that's when DoorDash deactivated her, for one. Then she started to get all of this attention online. Everybody's talking about it. Now we've escalated to the point of criminal charges, felonies, literal felonies, and the potential for her to be registered as a sex offender. All because we wanted to go and post online. What did we learn today, people? So let this be a lesson. You really, really, really need to be careful with what you post online. This is why, even for myself as a content creator, I take those precautions so I am not exposing any information that should not be available to the public, whether it's people in their private domains, if it's personal information like names, addresses, whatever it may be. I take those steps to go ahead and make sure those people are protected. So I don't get some type of random charge that comes out of nowhere and they be like, hey, it looks like you were recording this, this, and this. And then I'm pretty much going to be in the same predicament as her. So we have to be careful with what we post online. As I said before, not to discredit how she felt in that situation. But the steps that you took completely made that irrelevant at this point, honestly. Because like I said, if we didn't go the route of posting, we would have been having a completely different conversation. So this is close to the conclusion of this whole saga, but this could potentially be over pretty soon, depending on how they decide to go about this, or if they want to go to trial, or what happens. I don't know. I really don't know her logic in posting this. It's one thing to bring awareness, but you really have to be mindful of the law, because you can be trying to go ahead and expose one person and then you go ahead and turn it on yourself, and it's exhibit A. So, but yeah, guys, that's enough yapping. So let me know what you guys think about what's going on currently with this case. Do you think there's going to be some additional information that comes out, or, is this it? Is this it? And we just have to wait for the conclusion to see what actually happens as far as what she gets charged with. So, but yeah, guys, that's it. Just let me know your thoughts. Just let me know in the comments. But before I go, I have to remind you guys to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you do not miss a video. But I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. And as always, stay safe out there and keep grinding.